For years, the unfinished tower outside Jeddah looked like a symbol of failure, an abandoned megaproject frozen in the desert. Construction had stopped, money was locked up, and many believed the ambitious skyscraper would never be completed. But after nearly 7 years, the project has come back to life. Work has resumed, cranes are moving again, and Jeddah Tower is rising once more, aiming to become the first building in history to reach 1 kilometer in height. A skyscraper designed to break the kilometer barrier. Jeddah Tower was conceived with a goal unlike any other skyscraper before it, reaching at least 1,000 meters in height. If completed, it will easily surpass the current tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa, which stands at 828 meters. The tower is being developed as the centerpiece of a much larger urban development known as Jeddah Economic City, a project estimated to cost around $20 billion. The vision behind the development is to create a new commercial and residential hub along the Red Sea coast that can attract global investors, tourists, and businesses. Covering roughly 5.2 million square meters, the planned city district will include luxury housing, offices, shopping areas, and tourism infrastructure. The tower itself is meant to serve as the iconic centerpiece of this ambitious development. Saudi Arabia's leadership has long seen projects like this as part of a broader effort to diversify the national economy and position the country as a major global destination for business and tourism. Why Jeddah was chosen. The location of the tower was not chosen randomly. Jeddah sits on the Red Sea coast and serves as one of Saudi Arabia's most important port cities. It is also the gateway for millions of pilgrims traveling to nearby Mecca each year. From a strategic perspective, the city lies at the crossroads of major trade routes connecting Africa, Asia, and Europe. Building the world's tallest structure here sends a powerful message about the country's ambitions in global commerce and international tourism. When the project was first announced in 2008, it was intended not only as an engineering achievement, but also as a symbol of economic and technological progress. Architects behind the project. The design of Jeddah Tower comes from Adrian Smith plus Gordon Gill Architecture, the Chicago-based firm responsible for several major skyscrapers around the world. Adrian Smith was also the lead architect behind the Burj Khalifa. Their design for Jeddah Tower follows a 3-petal footprint that gradually tapers as it rises. This shape is not just an aesthetic choice. It plays a crucial role in managing wind forces at extreme heights. As buildings become taller, wind becomes one of the most dangerous structural challenges. The tower's aerodynamic design disrupts wind vortices that could otherwise cause dangerous oscillations. Why construction stopped for 7 years? Despite the enormous ambition behind the project, progress came to a sudden halt in 2018. Several factors contributed to the shutdown. Financial difficulties, contractor issues, and broader political changes in Saudi Arabia all played a role. The Saudi Bin Laden Group, one of the country's largest construction companies and the primary contractor, became entangled in a large anti-corruption crackdown led by the Saudi government. As a result, construction activity stopped while the tower had already risen several dozen floors above the ground. For years afterward, many analysts believed the tower might never be completed. A surprising restart. Everything changed in late 2024 when the project received renewed financial backing and a revised contractual structure. Construction officially resumed in early 2025, with engineers first conducting extensive inspections of the existing structure. Because the tower had been exposed to the harsh coastal environment for several years, teams had to verify that the concrete, reinforcement steel, and foundation systems remained structurally sound. Sensors embedded within the building helped engineers analyze how materials had behaved over time. Only after these inspections were completed did large-scale construction restart. Once work resumed, progress accelerated rapidly, building at an astonishing pace. Recent construction updates suggest that the tower has already surpassed 80 completed floors. Even more surprising is the speed at which new levels are being added. On average, one floor is now being completed every 3 to 4 days. If that pace continues consistently, the structure could approach its full height sometime around 2028. Such speed is impressive, but maintaining it will require overcoming a series of extreme engineering challenges. The concrete challenge. Constructing a 1-kilometer tower requires materials capable of supporting enormous forces. The tower's structure relies heavily on ultra-high-performance concrete, specially engineered to handle extreme compression loads. By early construction estimates, more than 250,000 cubic meters of concrete had already been poured for the tower's lower structure. This massive volume allowed the building to rise beyond 300 meters. However, transporting concrete to extreme heights introduces new difficulties. Even the most advanced pumping systems typically struggle beyond 500 meters. While the world record for pumping concrete vertically stands slightly above 600 meters, reaching the upper levels of a kilometer-tall tower requires alternative methods. Why steel takes over near the top. To overcome these limitations, engineers decided that the uppermost sections of Jeddah Tower will rely more heavily on steel structures rather than concrete. Steel components can be lifted into place using cranes and assembled more efficiently at extreme heights. This approach has already been used in several super-tall buildings around the world. The very top of the tower will consist of a large spire that extends roughly 350 meters above the highest occupied floors. Most of this section will house technical equipment rather than residential or office spaces. Altogether, the project is expected to use approximately 80,000 tons of steel. Fighting the wind at 1,000 meters. At extreme heights, wind forces become one of the most serious structural threats. Engineers estimate that skyscrapers around 500 meters tall can experience wind forces up to 60 times stronger than those acting on ordinary mid-rise buildings. At the height planned for Jeddah Tower, simulations suggest that the top of the structure could sway by as much as 2 meters during powerful winds. Although these numbers may sound alarming, controlled movement is actually a normal and necessary part of super-tall building design. Instead of resisting wind entirely, the tower is engineered to flex slightly and absorb the energy safely. Anchoring the tower underground. One of the most critical challenges in the project lies beneath the surface. The soil in the Jeddah area consists largely of sand and limestone rather than solid bedrock. To support the immense weight of the tower, estimated to reach around 900,000 tons, engineers had to construct an exceptionally deep foundation. More than 270 massive foundation piles were driven deep into the ground, some reaching depths of over 100 meters. These piles are connected by a giant reinforced concrete foundation slab several meters thick. The entire foundation system distributes the building's enormous weight while protecting it from long-term settlement. Protecting against the Red Sea environment. Another challenge comes from Jeddah's coastal climate. Salt carried by humid sea air can cause corrosion in exposed steel and reinforced concrete. To counter this, engineers used specialized corrosion-resistant materials and high-performance concrete mixtures designed to withstand decades of environmental exposure. Sensors embedded in the structure continuously monitor how the building behaves over time. Managing the world's most complex construction site. Beyond engineering, the logistics of building such a tower are incredibly complex. Thousands of workers and engineers must coordinate their activities in precise sequences. Even a small delay can disrupt the entire construction schedule. The project now relies heavily on digital planning tools, including advanced 3D modeling systems and simulation software. These systems help engineers identify potential construction conflicts before they occur. Project management responsibilities are currently handled by Turner Construction, a company experienced in managing large international building projects. A vertical city in the sky. When completed, Jeddah Tower will function more like a vertical city than a traditional skyscraper. The building will include office spaces, luxury apartments, and a 5-star hotel with nearly 200 rooms. Restaurants, fitness facilities, swimming pools, and spas will also be integrated throughout the structure. One of the most spectacular features will be the observation deck located about 630 meters above ground, which could become the highest public viewing platform ever built. From that height, visitors will be able to see across the Red Sea coastline and far into the surrounding desert. The elevator challenge. Moving people inside a 1-kilometer building requires a highly advanced elevator system. The tower will contain around 59 elevators, including several double-deck models capable of carrying 2 groups of passengers simultaneously. Rather than traveling directly from the ground floor to the top, the elevators will operate through a series of sky lobby transfer levels. Passengers will switch elevators at these intermediate levels to reach different zones of the building. The system will rely on carbon fiber elevator cables known as ultrarope, which are significantly lighter than traditional steel cables. The race toward 2028. If the current schedule remains on track, Jeddah Tower could be completed by August 2028. At that point, it would stand at least 173 meters taller than the Burj Khalifa, securing its place as the tallest structure ever built. However, mega projects of this scale rarely follow perfect timelines. Economic conditions, construction challenges, and geopolitical factors could still affect progress. If the project stays on track, Jeddah Tower could soon become the first building ever to reach 1 kilometer in height. If you enjoyed this story about incredible mega projects, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.